voice. So let us begin by understanding what are active and passive voices. So first, let us begin with active voice. Active voice is basically the simple sentence that we make, which is used to represent some event or some action that takes place. So active voice it represents an action or an event that takes place. For example, I say, my dog barks at the outsiders. Now this is the most simple sentence that can be formed, and this simply represents the action performed by the dog, right? That my dog barks at the outsider. So action performed over here is bark, a simple sentence, right? Now let us discuss about passive voice. Now passive voice is a little complex version of active voice, because active voice simply represents an event or an action that takes place, but passive voice represents the experience of a person or of an object by the event that takes place or by the action that takes place. So passive voice basically indicates or denotes the experience by the object or the person in the event or the action that takes place. Right? Here the example is, I am looked after by my mother. Now a simple sentence when made complex but having the same meaning is passive voice. If I want to convert this into active voice, I will say, my mother looks after me. So a simple sentence is referred to as an active voice when the meaning of the same sentence is same, but it is changed to a complex form. That is passive voice. So in this video, we are going to understand and we are going to discuss the conversion of active voice into passive voice in simple present tense. So conversion of active voice to passive in simple present tense. We first need to figure out the difference between active and passive voice. Therefore, rules for understanding or rules for determining whether the sentence is active. So, rules for active. Remember that the sentence will first be followed by a subject, then it will be followed by simple verb in present tense, it can be S or ES, right? Depending upon the subject. If the subject is plural, it will be S. If the subject is singular, it will be ES. Plus, it will be followed by object. So, this is the rule for identifying an active voice in the sentence, right? Whether the sentence is in active form, we will determine this by simply using this rule: subject plus verb in simple present tense plus the object. For example, I say, my books are on table. Now my books over here is subject. Are on, this is just a, are is simple present tense and table is again the object. Another example can be, the boy sings beautifully. Over here, again I want to first find the subject in my sentence. So the subject in my sentence is the boy. So the boy is again my subject. Sings. S is always again a present tense. And beautifully becomes my object. The remaining part becomes the object. Right? So, I think it will be clear with another example. Another example is that we pray before going to bed. Now, we over here is the subject. Pray is again a verb because some action is being performed. So verb, it is a simple. So this is a simple present tense. And before going to bed is again the object. So I hope that this rule is clear. So for finding whether the sentence is in active form, we will first figure out the subject. Then we will make sure, because we are first referring to the active voice in simple present tense. So the verb should also be in simple present tense and then it should be followed by the object. So now next we are going to discuss the rules for passive voice. We have understood the rules for identifying the active voice. Now next we are going to discuss the rules for understanding whether the sentence is in passive form. So for that, again, the rule is like, first is the subject. First we have to identify that our sentence should begin with a subject followed by is, am, are, followed by a verb in third form. For active voice, the verb should be in a simple present form, but for finding the sentence in passive voice, we have to also make sure that the verb is in third form, and the last again it should be followed by the object. So, if an active voice is to be converted into passive voice, then we have to make sure to make use of the subject at the beginning, followed by is, am, are. That depends upon the subject, right? Then it should be followed by the verb, but now this time it should not be in present form, it should be in the third form. and then last it should be followed by the object. So let me explain with an example. I say, the bag is carried by him. Right? Now over here, the bag is my subject, right? Because the sentence should begin with the subject. So the bag is my subject. Is, I am using is, why? Because it is only a single bag, right? And for a single noun, singular noun, we make use of is. Carried. Carried is again the third form, right? By him is the object. This is the third form of verb. Right? But if I say this to be in active voice, I will say, he carries the bag. Right? He is my subject. Carries is again my verb in present form. And the bag is the object. So over here, we notice that to convert active into passive, we will see that he was the subject in active form, but now him is the object in passive. So the subject gets converted to object and the object gets converted to subject. The object in active form was bag, but now the bag becomes my subject in passive form. Then the verb is in present form in active voice, but now it gets converted to a third form in passive. Right? So here the subject of active gets converted to the object of passive. Similarly, the object of active gets converted to the subject of passive. So this is a general rule of converting active voice into passive voice in simple present form. So let us convert another active sentence into passive. So second example can be, Ria distributes sweets on her birthday. So Ria distributes sweets on her birthday. Here Ria is my subject. Distributes is a verb in present form. Sweets on her birthday is the object over here. Now I want to convert this active sentence into passive. So the rule is subject, but also I said that the subject gets converted to object and the object gets converted to subject. So first my subject in passive will be sweets, right? Sweets becomes my subject. Now I have to make use of is, am or are. Now since sweets are plural, sweets is plural, therefore I will be making use of are. So sweets are. Next is the verb in third form. Distributes gets converted to distributed. So sweets are distributed by Ria on her birthday. So this is my sentence in active form. Now I have converted the same sentence into passive form, where now sweets will become my subject. Are is again my helping verb. Distributed is my third form of verb, and the remaining is my object. Another example can be the barber cuts my hair. Right? A simple sentence in simple present form is a sentence in active form. To convert this into passive, again, my hair is the object. It gets converted into subject in passive. So, my hair. Now, hair can be is, hair can be are. I want to get a haircut, right? My hair are falling. So, my hair are cut. It is not just a single strand of hair, but more than one strand is cut. Therefore, my hair, there is no word like hairs. A singular noun for hair is also hair. Hair in plural is also hair. We do not use s after hair to make it plural. Singular is also hair, plural is also hair. So my hair are cut. Here again, cut in single present tense, in simple present tense is also cut. Cut in third form is also cut. There is no word as cutted. These are some important points in English, that cut does not change to cutted in the sentence. If you want to convert it into third form, it will remain cut. So, my hair are cut by the barber. So, here the barber was my subject. Here the barber becomes my object. My hair over here was the object, but my hair in passive voice becomes the subject. Now, since this is plural, the helping verb will also be plural, and this is the third form. So, in this video, we discussed active and passive voice. We understood the difference between these two. Then we understood the rules for identifying the type of voice used in the sentence for active voice as well as for the passive voice, and then we converted some active sentences to passive sentences.